Well, we're back up to Lakeville because a friend of mine, we won't mention names yet until it happens, is thinking about a new bike. This is a beautiful street glide. Kind of strange looking street glide. You should charge extra for that. That is a sweet ride. There's my girl Liv. We got a high quality fix for the antenna for right now. Hey Jim, what did you do?
I bought a Harley.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Jim back to the Harley family and the purchase of his 2022 Road Glide Special.
So what am I up to? Well, I have not had a chance to put together my video from the out east trip yet. Today is Father's Day, and I think I had a lull in the videos around Mother's Day, so let me just take a chance to say Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. Happy belated Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And for all you entitled little kids that said, what about Kids Day? Let me channel my mother and say, every day is Kids Day. So, with that, I did have some things that were going on in between trips. I just came back from a camping trip, and so this episode is those beautiful things that you find in between. So where am I? You'd never guess. I'm actually back north, in all places, in Brainerd. And doing some camping up here this weekend. Not in Brainerd, but about 50 miles away, and realized I forgot my solar generator. So we're going to see if I can find one. Okay, before I go into the Harbor Freight to see if they have a Jackery, I thought it would be interesting to spill my beans on a reaction as far as going through Brainerd at a different time of the year. And when we were last here, it was okay. I don't know if it's just because the route that I was on is insanely beautiful. I'm up in northern Minnesota camping, and the route to get to Brainerd, which is where the nearest Harbor Freight was, took me by Lake Mille Lacs, and oh my goodness, Mille Lacs is absolutely out of this world gorgeous. As I was driving my route, I saw a bunch of cabins, and down near Gulf Shores, where my mom and dad have wintered in the past, there's all these sign plaques that have names of places or names of people that own them, and that's kind of what it's like going past Lake Mille Lacs, all these different lakeside cabins with names like Summer Breeze, and you look over the lake and it's just absolutely breathtaking. So it might be because I'm happy to see a Harbor Freight since I forgot my solar generator, but I think actually Brainerd is kind of a nice town. You just need to be up here in the summertime, as opposed to in the late winter, early spring. And you know, in fairness, everywhere looks kind of dreary in that time. The snow's melting and everything's turning into muck and mud. But yeah, I kind of would consider coming back up here and checking things out in the summer. I'm not going to go all the way to the lake we were near, because I'd have to go across town. But where I'm at, which for my family, it's near where we drove around in the residential area, not too far off from where this competed. Amanda, if you remember, it's where we went for the chicken nuggets. It made it to one of the other videos. So on the eastern, I think, side of town. Anyway, we're going to Harbor Freight. I didn't know they sold Jackeries. When Amanda let me know that I forgot mine at the house, she started looking and found out that apparently Harbor Freight carries them. We'll see if their website's accurate and if they have them in stock. So there you have it. Harbor Freight Jackery. I find that somewhat unbelievable. It's also exciting that solar generators are becoming ubiquitous, and you can find them at places like this. I don't know that you'd run a house off of that, although we had a power outage not long ago, and we have the bigger brother to this one, and it saved our rear ends. Actually kept our phones charged and ran tablets and laptops and things like this. For camping, it's amazing. I'm basically this weekend camping out of my truck. I do have a pretty sizable camper. With one of the bigger ones, I think I could do most things that I do in the camper without the need for gas or a noisy generator. It's certainly out of my truck. I can run fans, and I've got this really kind of interesting new portable AC unit that I saw on YouTube. That's basically a commercialized version of a redneck AC. So it's powered by ice, and do my phones and all that without having to worry about killing my car battery. So hopefully this one is compatible with the solar panels that I brought with, because I have its bigger brother's solar panels. But even if it's not, I can plug it into the car while I'm moving and charge it up, which is what I'm doing right now. So, long story short, and I hate to say this in public, but my wife was right. I was wrong. There are Jackeries at Harbor Freight Tool. Our travels take us to Potosi Brewery, somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, along the river.
Look better on the outside lights. I believe when you fall in love, forever is a promise to be proud of.
Yeah, I knew how big corporate were, so I didn't get one.
That looks healthy, Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get you guys anything else?
Oh my God. No, it looks great. Go. It's another Go Rock bag. Not a sponsor, but I do really appreciate their stuff. And they're veterans, so maybe give them some love if you're able to. And their stuff really is bulletproof. I thought about using one of my GR's rucksacks for attaching to the bike this trip. And the only reason I didn't is because I have a new Harley bag that I want to give a shot. It was really meant for a sissy bar, but we'll figure something out. I think I will put in one of these Germ-X soft wipes. It looks like there's room for that. I might actually be able to get 2 of those in here. And for really basic first aid needs, we should be set. And I've got a tactical band I'm gonna put around this to help keep it closed. And there we go. Very, very basic first aid kit, well labeled so I know what it is. I want these for sure. Not going to take up a ton of space with them. That bottle would take up a lot of space, so the Advil that I have in here, I'm just going to put into the smallest Ziploc that I have. Another fundamental that I want to make sure I have in my pack is a flashlight. That's going in. My cordage option that I chose is this one that I made. It's nice because it's got carabiner on it and another fastener option, plus there is a lot of paracord bound up in there. So when all is said and done, that kit turns out looking like this. This is everything I need to take care of myself, from toiletries and a comb and toothbrush and cordage. I did put in a mask. We've been talking about monkeypox lately, and you just never know. So unfortunately, that's a part of reality today. I've got the blade that I was talking about. There's the fire starter kit, and we'll zip her up. Here's the kit that's of interest. There's the cotton balls, the striker, and the knife. Okay, as promised, I'm headed out to the yard so I can try out the fire starter. I'm a firm believer in this. You should never ever rely on something if you've never tried it. I've used these before in the past. Some of this stuff has been sitting on the shelf for a while. Can't imagine that petroleum jelly goes bad, but nonetheless we're going to try it, and I've never tried that particular knife and striker before, so we'll give that a shot. And the truth is, I've got a bunch of old stuff in the fire pit, so it's a good opportunity to have a burn and take care of some of that too. I don't have a partner, so it's going to be hard for me to show you this, but I can show you the before and maybe the after. I'm going to see if maybe I can get something out to capture this. If I get lucky, maybe that'll work. But I've got the knife and the striker. I don't like this one as much as some of my other options. There we go. We got her lit. Hopefully you can see that. She's gonna catch these leaves on fire. So I can start throwing in some. I'm just gonna sit and kind of watch this. It's pretty amazing. It's no wonder fires get started out in the woods. It can be really hard if you're trying to do this by design and don't have the right stuff. But once it gets started, if you've got a lot of dry materials, it will go for quite some time. So we'll just let this do its thing. I'll come back and close things down. It's been too long since we've used this pit, actually. I didn't maintain it, but you'll see there was enough oomph in that to get the pit burned out. It hit the wet grass on the sides and kind of fizzled. But I'm gonna run water around the perimeter, then I'll douse the center too. But first, from Potosi, I'm going to enjoy one of the beers that we picked up. And through the magic of YouTube, today is actually Memorial Day, even though this won't come out for a couple of episodes after the Memorial Day episode. This was a really good grapefruit Hefeweizen. Probst. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's hot out here. I'm sitting out here and looking at my yard. I realized there's some things to reclaim. A couple years ago, Nis and I grew potatoes actually on that frame on the side of the lean-to. And I'm gonna get up on the roof and shingle that properly now that Jim has showed me how to do it. We got some cinder blocks. Don't know what I'll do with those yet. We talked about turning those into some sort of flower bed. We got some old tires along the side that we tried strawberries, but it was just too shady. Maybe that'll be better if I get rid of one of the trees back here, which Amanda doesn't want to hear, but there's a good area there potentially for an extension or a greenhouse. If I can get rid of that shade, I'll look at other places too. A lot of the buildings need to be repainted. That's probably on the docket. I may know a 15-year-old who will help with that, especially if there's a little extra spending money for some trips that she has coming up. But I look at all this and I remember that the yard brings me great joy too. I've been working to get the mower and that lean-to running and haven't had success yet, but I ran out of time on the day I tried, so we'll try that again when I get back. But all in all, there's a lot of great things out in the yard. Has been working to make use of these new raised beds that are awesome. Some new plants. Looks like we got a couple tip over in the wind. I'll help them out a little. Uh-oh. One up there too. There we go. What you doing? What you doing? Okay, and there's the bag I'm camping with. That's the Overwatch. If you look at the emergency bag and you look at that, a lot of my friends are probably going to be freaking out and saying, are you serious? So yes, friends, there it is. 2 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of socks, 6 pairs of underwear, 3 shirts, and a set of thermals, a sweatshirt that kind of looks like thermal underwear, and a pair of flip-flops and a pair of shorts. All managed to put into this dry bag, and I've actually still got extra room, so this ought to be pretty cool. I'm glad I did this little exercise. Thanks to Kurt for the inspiration to minimalize a little bit. Put the toiletry and emergency bag in there. I'm not going to. I'm actually going to put that in my saddle bag. And of course this doesn't have, I've got a 2-person tent that I will pack, and a blanket option and so forth. So let's get out to the bike and begin packing that up. And those are just a few of the things that happened in between the trips. So it's a good reminder. It doesn't have to be something glorious, to be something you can celebrate and enjoy. If you get a chance, keep us going. Hit like, hit subscribe, and remember to see the beautiful things that are around you every day.